I got too many windows open. All right, good morning, everyone. Today is July the 25th. It is the official opening day for Tech Remix, hosted by Wearable Tech Ventures. And we have an amazing announcement. We are officially the world's largest wearable tech focused hackathon, and with a focus on underrepresented talent. And guess what? You helped to make this happen. So, round of applause to everyone. We are so excited about what this week is going to bring. Now, technically, during the opening ceremony, I will give an overview of Wearable Tech Ventures, what to expect this week from a schedule perspective, as well as other opportunities to engage in the metaverse. And last of all, I would have, during this particular hour, presented our 5 tracks and problem statement so that you can begin your team building. What we realize is that only 20% or 25% of our folks are actually loaded into Discord. And we still have folks that are navigating, trying to figure things out. And so we're going to be patient. So we're going to check back in at 4:30 to see what we have. And at the very latest, we are going to go live at 6 o'clock with those tracks so that the teams can begin to form. And that way you'll have throughout the night to form your team. And then that way on Tuesday, July the 26th, your teams will be solidified and you can move forward with your idea formation. But what we'll do now, again, as I mentioned, is I'll go into who we are, what we're doing, what the schedule is going to look like. But I have to make sure that I thank our diamond sponsor, the Boeing Company. Thank you, Boeing, for your tremendous support, not only this year, but since we reformatted ourselves as a 501c3 in 2019. I'd also like to thank our official media sponsor, the Baltimore Times. Give it up for the Baltimore Times. They are making history with us, but the Baltimore Times is also America's oldest Black family-owned newspaper. And so we are grateful for the Baltimore Times. You will notice that in Discord, there's going to be a channel. When you come into Tech Remix, you'll be able to read all of the coverage that the Baltimore Times did. They had 2 articles, as well as there's a podcast. So thank you so much for that. And then also we have another media sponsor, Technically Media. We're so grateful for you, Technically Media. Technically Media has been documenting my journey as a founder when we were Glam Tech and then transitioned into Wearable Tech Ventures. And so they have an opportunity for you to read an article so that you know what to expect this week. Thank you so much, Technically Media. Both of our media partners will be featured on future episodes of Wearable Takeover. What is Wearable Takeover? Wearable Takeover is the podcast that supports the Wearable Tech Ventures ecosystem. And so we highlight stories from our founders, from our partners at universities, from our partners in government, from our partners in corporations, as well as our media partners and sponsors, etc. So you will also find that there's a link so that you can get additional education and inspiration this week via the Wearable Takeover podcast. And the fun thing is, we've only launched audio episodes to date. This week, you will get to experience the full video episodes of those same episodes. So thank you to all of our guests that have already recorded their episodes. And we have amazing guests that are already lined up. I have a full schedule of guests through the fall. So it's going to be amazing to witness even more greatness within our ecosystem. But going back to that media channel, there's also an opportunity where you can register for our media partners newsletters. Please make sure you support them and sign up for the newsletters because they've supported us and made sure that they gave us coverage. It's important that we support them and their list building efforts, but then also to stay in tune as to what's happening in the community and in the tech community. So there is so much information available for all of us, and we just want to make sure that you stay up to date. Now, what I can tell you is that we are officially covering 3 continents with participants from Tech REMIXed. That's amazing. Give it up, everybody. Give it up, give it up, give it up. You know, I've met with so many people preparing for this endeavor who said, hey, Coach L, I don't see myself as a techie. Tech scares me. I don't know how I can use that. And we have really transformed and will continue to transform mindsets about how we can contribute and develop tech in the future and not just be the consumer. And what we're going to experience this week is an amazing, intimate opportunity to speak with one another, to learn from one another. And I will tell you that there is no shortage of learning opportunities. We made sure of it. What I can tell you is that for the past 2 years, we've actually been studying other hackathons and have been consulting with some other folks that have curated hackathons so that we could curate this specific experience for Wearable Tech Ventures. We know that we're special. We know we have an amazing, special community. And so we knew we had to approach this process of innovation a little bit differently. 1, to make sure that people knew that they were welcome. 2, to make sure that we had helpers to usher you in. And 3, to make sure that you are comfortable so that you can really engage and share your best for our audience that will be comprised of the ecosystem on Discord. We have an amazing technical instructional team. We'll be sharing more about that instructional team throughout the week. But we do have graphics that are in Discord, and you'll also see some of those thumbnails as we stream on YouTube and Twitch. So I have to give a round of applause to our technical team. You know, this is not a one-person job. This is a team that has really worked hard and really thought about how we were delivering and what we were delivering, you know, to the public. So we have an amazing instructional team. We also have on Friday, as we close out our ceremony, we will have a local rep who is also a successful wearable tech founder, who is a consultant with the, let me see, I'm gonna mess it up right now. Small Business Development Center, Maryland Small Business Development Center. So we're going to make sure not only are you learning here and that you'll have some resources from a technical perspective, but you'll also get some motivation and some resources on Friday so that you can hit the ground running and have someone hold you accountable on your journey. In addition, we have some resources from the National Institute of Health, also known as NIH SEED program. And so we want to thank the NIH SEED program because they provided a number of different resources. If you ever think about how am I going to get funded? Where am I going to go for funding, right? Also, where might you go if you want to collaborate on some research? Or how can you present your idea in a succinct yet successful way? So we have pitch resources that are there too. And those pitch resources are going to help you so that as you and your team prepare to pitch your idea on Thursday and Friday, you have a model that you will follow for that particular pitching. And now I'm excited to share, we have some amazing judges. We have judges from Under Armour. We have judges from Johns Hopkins University. We have judges from the Wearable Tech Ventures Advisory Council. We got it covered, people. So we made sure that we only brought you the best. Why? Because you deserve it. And so we know that there are people that are going to be at various stages. There are going to be some folks that have no idea what tech is, that just want to be here to experience it all. There are going to be some folks that are tech founders that are actually raising rounds of funding to take their innovation to the next level. We have some folks that may have a little bit of experience and dabbled in some coding or some other things, and they want to, brush up on that a little bit. And then we have those folks that serve as the gatekeepers and administrators of all the amazing institutions that we work with. So there are so many people here working together, learning together. And at the very end, one thing we can all be sure to say is we will not leave the same as when we came in. That will be our measure of success. We want to make sure that you leave different. We want to make sure that you leave as someone that has gleaned and grown from some of the information that you've encountered, and you will not be the same. But what it's going to take is some commitment from you. It's going to take some patience. It's going to take a little bit of focus. And more so than anything, it's going to take an open mind. I also want to make sure that I thank Deloitte. Our folks from Deloitte actually helped us to curate one of the tracks that we'll be sharing today based on ethics and innovation. So if we have some folks that are participating and they say, you know what, Coach L, I don't want to develop a tech product. Well, we definitely would need you on that ethics and innovation track, because you can help us put some standards in place. So as we continue to go to Congress, because we've already been there, as we continue to go to Congress, we can advocate for certain standards that need to be put in place for new tech innovations overall, and especially wearable tech. And also so that we can help our founders and consumers understand the importance of who owns data when developing these products and how should that be communicated. So that's an opportunity. We made sure we did not leave you out. So what I'd like to do really quickly is stop sharing. And I gave you a brief overview. I'm definitely going to give you a tour of Discord. But before I give you a tour of Discord, which is our home, the home base where all the messaging is going to happen, we have all the different channels. I'd like to give you an overview of some of the courses that you'll be able to take that are on demand, as well as give you an idea of some of the active media schedules that our partners in Baltimore, as well as Houston and New Orleans are going to be doing live. So it's almost like, have you ever been to a conference where there's like thousands of people and there's like activities here, activities there, activities here? Well, we're basically doing that here in a virtual environment. And so I like to call it the Super Bowl of tech, because we have so many amazing things happen. And I love that one of our publishers is here as I move on to share some of the scheduling for this week. Okay, so this is going to be placed in Discord. So we do have live workshops, and we're going to work on that functioning for that streaming. So as we asked you to be patient with yourself working through the system, we ask that you be patient with us as we come back, so that we can make sure that that streaming is top notch, and also so that you have access to some things in the metaverse, okay? But what we have right here is a list of some of the on-demand workshops that you can partake in. And we're going to post the exact links for these courses that you can take on demand as you wait on everybody else to join Discord, and also so that you can avail yourself to other resources and trainings that are available. So today, what we have scheduled, of course, we just had our technical workshop. So that will be available. If you missed our technical workshop this morning, we'll have that loaded. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. So we thank Dr. Natalia for working with us on that. Right now, we're in the opening ceremony. And then there's also going to be access to NIH resources, which are already in Discord. So I ask that you avail yourself to resources available. We like to call them CBER, for the folks that are in there. Some of the folks might say SBIR, but this is another avenue of funding. So if you are experienced, or perhaps you're on that track where you're a little bit more advanced and looking for some funding, I highly recommend that you go to those NIH resources to start, specifically with that CBER portal. For everyone else, you might want to just glance at the pitch materials that are there, because we're going to be working from that framework as we move throughout the week. And then when we come back, because we got to get everybody loaded into Discord so that we can share all the tracks, you'll have the opportunity to determine which track you want to partake in and select your team. And then we have some learning that's going to be available. We have a Wearables 101 video that is going live on YouTube. And I believe that goes live at 2 o'clock. I believe that session is about an hour or an hour and a half, and I highly recommend that you watch that. In that session, you will hear from me and one of our advisors from Wearable Tech Ventures, and Mr. Pankaj Kedia. It's an amazing workshop that gives an overview of what is wearable technology? What are we talking about here? And what are the opportunities that are available in wearable technology? Also, when you go to our YouTube channel, there's an amazing video there that has a little bit of music, and it's about 2 minutes, but it gives an overview, a visual overview of the opportunities in wearable technology. So in the interest of time, I'm not sharing that because it's already on YouTube and you're going to be going there anyway. But then there's also another amazing recorded class that we're going to be sharing with you today, and that is on blockchain. So how many of you have ever heard of blockchain? I know many people may have heard of it. You may not truly understand it or how to apply it or use it. And so that class is going to be available for you today. So I just mentioned a lot of resources before we even get started, right? So if you're a geek like me, I like to say a cool geek, you have a lot of stuff that you can go through. Then on Tuesday, we'll also publish a schedule with the exact link. So if you're interested in game development, or if you would like to create a health app, or if you'd like to understand Python and get an intro to Python, you can do that. And then we also have another technical lecture and another wearables 101 workshop that we hosted with our other advisor from Wearable Tech Ventures at Under Armour, Ms. Lauren Hamlin. Now, some of you might be saying, Lakeisha, this is a lot of content. This is a lot of content. What's going on here? Well, as you are in your team, what we know is that you may come up with some ideas. You may come up with an idea. You may say, hey, it might be kind of cool to develop this app, or it might be kind of cool to develop this apparatus. And you might have the idea and you're going to sketch it out and you're going to put it on your pitch deck. However, we wanted to make sure that we provided some supplemental instruction that you can go back to in the event you really, really do want to build it. So in this virtual environment, all we're asking at the end of the week is for your team to develop an ideation pitch, not necessarily a physical pitch, but you have tools and resources to help you with that. Okay, so moving into Wednesday, for those of you that might be a little overwhelmed or still trying to navigate, or maybe you just want to have a little bit of fun, you can paint with Bob Ross. And so it's really cool because you could do that with some coding. Then you can also build an interactive game browser. We have another technical lecture. And then you can also see how you can build a mobile app or develop a chat bot within Discord. And then we're going to close out that day with a design thinking workshop. I'll be leading that one. And then on Thursday, if you say, you know what, I might be interested in APIs for social media, you can partake in that on-demand course. You can do some mobile development, have an introduction to JavaScript, learn how to build a cloud-based productivity app. And then we have another live section with Forbes Startup Essentials from one of our Forbes 30 Under 30 honorees that will be with us. So as I mentioned, these particular courses here are not required. They're not required. This is supplemental learning, supplemental exposure so that you can be your best self. Now, if you like to hear people talk and hear their stories and understand what's going on around the world, we are so excited that we'll be hosting our first metaverse newsroom. And so we'll have it on Zoom as well as in the metaverse, where our official media sponsor, the Baltimore Times, will be hosting episodes of their podcast, as well as interviewing amazing people around the community. So just to give you a visual idea of what's going on, we'll post the exact times in Discord, but and I believe that should have said Tuesday, so it's not today. There are no interviews today, so pardon me. Beginning on Tuesday, you will have the opportunity every day at noon to listen to an episode from the Baltimore Times podcast. And then beginning on Tuesday, you will get to listen to interviews from our folks at the Baltimore Times, as well as the Bayou Beat. Yes, so we're coming from Maryland, going on down to the South. I mean, you will be in the know. And if you happen to miss it, don't worry about it. We'll make sure that it's somewhere so that you can access it. And then on Wednesday, so forgive me, and we'll make sure that this is updated later. On Wednesday, again, you get to listen to the Baltimore Times podcast. Then we get to hear from our folks at the Baltimore Times again. So if you want to tune in to whom they are interviewing. And then we go to Houston to the Forward Times. So this is so exciting. So again, in addition to that, we have some Wearables 101, and then you get to hear from them subsequently throughout the week. And then one of the other highlights is that on Thursday, we will launch all of the visual podcasts from Wearable Takeover. And I believe we have 9 episodes from innovators and those in the community that we have interviewed. And then I'm so excited that even after Tech Remix, you'll be able to hear from our media partners as well as other innovators. Woo! Isn't that amazing? Look at what we put together. I'm so excited. So now what I'm going to do is transition so that you can view my master view, because all of you won't have the same view as me in Discord. The reason I have to know what's going on is because there's so many of you and you all have different permissions. But let me tell you this. If you are new to Discord and you're having some difficulty, don't worry. We have a YouTube link that you can look at so that you can learn how to access Discord, what prompts you may need to complete, so that you can gain access to our whole universe there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you, good job, thank you, Pietro. Pietro is one of our founder ambassadors. He's an Extra Game founder out of Brazil. He's been amazing, serving as tech support and serving as a mentor to our entire community. I encourage you while you're in Discord to meet Pietro. Pietro, just say hello for him real quick so they can hear you.
Hello, guys. Olá, todo mundo. In Brazilian, in Portuguese.
Yes,
so
yes.
so amazing.
So amazing. And they're coming, he and his team are coming to the US next year. And so they gave Wearable Tech Ventures some credit as supporting them to make that happen. And so it's awesome when we can document our wins. Because I don't know if I said this because I got so excited about all the other information and with us making history, and that we are officially, due to numbers, we are officially the world's largest wearable tech hackathon. Woo! We made history. We are officially that. Yes, we did that. Hashtag we did that. But our goal by 2030 is to make sure that we are supporting at least 100 wearable startups. And so venues like this, the hackathon, is something that's amazing because we care about those that have those amazing ideas. And so we're providing some training and some mentorship in our ecosystem to say, let's go, let's go, let's go, and let's build some success stories. So what I'm going to do is quickly transition over to Discord. And so you might have a delay of a few seconds as I pull it up because I want to make sure I got it all right here now. Okay. So I am going into Discord. And again, what I'm going to share you can see I have many tabs open because everybody has been reaching out to me today to make sure that they can access the platform. But what I want to draw your attention to first is on the left side. So I'm just circling this, okay? So when you come in, you're going to notice that there's a section that says, welcome to Tech Remixed. And there's going to be some channels there. So we have different channels and you can see how they're categorized. We have welcome to Tech Remix. So this is going to help you get started. We have some resources. I already mentioned some of those resources. When we come back later, and once we know we got everybody or a good majority of folks logged in, we're going to go into teams formation. And so we'll provide some instruction there. But as you learn and as you hear about the different tracks and you decide which track you want to go to, you're going to go into these particular areas. And what's really cool about it, I'm just going to click on it. Hopefully it doesn't mess up anything. But let's say you wanted to just open a quick chat. You don't even have to open everything. You could just click on the icon that looks like it's words and just click on that chat piece. And you'll see over here in the bottom right, you could start chatting with folks that are there. I currently do not have my microphone on because I'm on Zoom talking to you and I don't want to disrupt the environment. But if you also wanted to just click and come into the environment, it's almost like we have our own internal Zoom setup. So the cool thing is, as teams are formed under these different tracks, there's going to be different channels with the team names. And so teams can meet directly in here without having to provide their own Zoom link, because we set it up so it already has video and audio. But if a team wants to go to the metaverse, if they want to meet together and do some other stuff, we made that available too. We got some amazing worlds where folks can go. But I just wanted to share that for you. Also, we have a specific place for our youth. Today, the youth were gracious enough for us to share the Zoom as we were working out some of our streaming kinks. But in the future and moving forward, we're going to make sure that they have a private environment. Also, it's important that parents, we need some data from you. We realized that during registration, there were some parents and some other organizations that may have secured multiple tickets. And if some of those tickets in particular were assigned to a child, we ask that you help your child develop a Discord profile so that we can place them with permissions in a youth area. That's the other thing. As folks are coming in and as all of our volunteers are coming in, we have specific permissions assigned for access to all these different areas. So for instance, our speakers, before they speak, they'll have access to a green room. Our instructors have access to a green room. Our volunteers have a huddle room. Our media partners have their own room. So we want to make sure our advisors have their own room, but then there's also rooms that are open to the public. And so it's so important, especially for parents, I cannot stress this enough, that we have the name of your child so that, and they have their own profile so that they can work with the youth. And just so you know, the youth are all working in the realm of the metaverse gaming and VR. So they're going to be on that specific track, and they're working together from 9 to 12 on that. Okay, so then I forgot, there's some other resources here. You can order your hackathon t-shirt. There's a link here. So if you want to order that, you get free shipping. And then also we want to make sure that you are reading so you can connect with us even after Tech Remix. We have a monthly book and podcast club. So we want to make sure that you join us for that, because we know that leaders are readers. And as innovators, we have to stay on the cutting edge. And so what better way to do that than to continue to meet with us once a month and we discuss ideas. Geek Squad Queen right here. Okay, so all of you are welcome to join that particular channel, and just make sure you sign up on those links. Okay, so now getting back into some of the training, where can you find it? So what you'll find here is tech skills training, and this is going to be open. So you'll notice that this does not have a microphone. It's more so just a text link right here, okay? So what we'll do is we'll place the direct classes and the links here, and then also a direct link to the streaming platform. So if you're saying, I know Coach L said that there's some course on developing bots, or there's some course on social media APIs, I can't remember what's there, what's going on. All of that will be loaded here so that you can access it directly, and you can do so at your leisure. Okay, so all of that will be there. And then also we have the metaverse access. So here in the metaverse area, you'll see that we have, oops, I want to make sure, wait, let me just click on that double. In here. Okay, let me just hit confirm. So then as you come here into the podcast area, and I think there's a delay just because I'm on Zoom as well, but actually in the chat area, and I think I clicked too fast, but there are specific instructions and codes so that if you want to join us in the metaverse, and if you have an Oculus, you have the code and the link so that you can join us. So, oh, I see somebody else is there, so I'm going to come out. We have some folks that were talking, so that would come out of that. Okay, and then also, so you have the access to that. And then we have some special rooms for our instructors and our speakers. And then we have some corporate partners. So if you want to meet and greet, that room is going to be open. But we have some other rooms that are private. to make sure that our volunteers know what to do, to make sure that if they need to take a break, if they've been working because they just love it, and if they only sign up for a 2 hour, but they want to stay the rest of the day, they have a place where they can take a reprieve and then come back out. So ultimately, this is what you will find. These are the areas where you can access the special rooms in our universe, okay? And so again, I mentioned that if you were physically at a conference that's maybe at a convention center, there's a lot going on. Well, we're just doing that here in a virtual environment where you could be in your pajamas and have access to your own snacks and have all the entertainment in the world related to wearable tech. Now, I want to bring attention to this area too. Lost and found. We know that some people may be a little overwhelmed. You may not know where to go, okay? And so, Pietro, we want to make sure we're responding to these folks here. If you could do that for us here too, in the meantime, until we get done. But if you are lost, you don't know where you're supposed to be, you don't know what's going on, just go ahead and type here in Lost and Found. And we have volunteers that are set up as hall monitors that are going to be coming here, checking and assisting and escorting you to the place where you need to go. Okay, so we're just trying to get all of our volunteers in place. And so Pietro, he has on all hats right now until we get all of our hall monitors in place. Now, we also have the media station, so where all of our articles, again, from the Baltimore Times are here. Thank you so much. The Baltimore Times did an amazing job. They were so personable with everything. So I'm just so grateful for them. All right, so now I'm going to go further to the left. So in Discord, there are channels that are called servers. So you are a part of our server for Wearable Tech Ventures, and this particular area is for Tech Remixed. We're going to keep this open so that even after the week, you'll be able to access all of these particular resources, or most of them, I should say. But if you happen to already have a Discord account, you may see that you may be a partner with some other servers. And so that's what you see there on my end. All right. Now, if I go over to the right, you will see who is online. We made sure that, if there are certain folks that have titles, whether they be a founder, ambassador, an admin, or a mentor, if they're working in that capacity that day, or if they're media, or if they're just online, we know who they are. And then for those folks that are offline, we know what's going on. So basically, I'm gauging where we are as to whether we can start at 4:30 or 6 today, based off of how many folks we got loaded into Discord. So we have almost 200 participants. And so as you can see, we got quite a bit of ways to go to make sure we get some folks loaded in here so that we can have the full experience. All right, so that's the overall overview as far as what to expect. We're going to come back later this afternoon. We're going to allow some time for some folks to get into Discord. We're going to work out that streaming situation. But in the interim, we'll load the resources, the recording from this morning. We'll also load the other on-demand courses. And then also automatically at 2 o'clock, the first Wearables one-on-one introduction training will go live. So because we're totally intimate and because we are so amazing, does anybody here have any questions that perhaps may benefit others in the future? Are there any questions? And you can type into the chat, or you could go ahead and meet us back over in Discord and type them there too. So I'm going to give another 30 seconds to see if anybody else has any questions. Okay, and then I'll load this particular video in the opening ceremony. Outstanding. Anthony, where will the schedule be posted? So that is going to be posted. We're about to post that over in the opening ceremony so that you have that. And then also for the on-demand links, those will be posted in that Monday on-demand channel. And so then what we'll do is we'll check in and we'll send an announcement in the intros. And I forgot to share that with you. If you could, please make sure you introduce yourself. So on that far left, when you come into Discord and it says, welcome to Tech Remix, there's going to be a station there that says intros. Please introduce yourself. And that way you can also set up like private conversations with people within Discord. It's pretty amazing. So it's almost like you're having that one-to-one interaction. And there's some channels where you can even develop your own room. So we'll make sure that that schedule is loaded there in the Welcome to Tech Remix. So I just asked you to give us a few minutes to make sure we got everything loaded so we could put the proper links there, so that you could go ahead and get started with your on-demand learning or viewing. And then we're going to come back together as a group because we don't want to leave too many people behind. So we'll make a designation and we'll make an announcement if it's going to be 4:30 or 6, where we actually announce the tracks so that you can form your teams. Anybody else have a question? Great questions here. Yep, all of that will be there. We've had it laid out for quite a while. It's pretty extensive. So we're making it, when we load it, it's gonna be simpler with the times and the links so that you can view that. All right, so I think there are no other questions. If we miss anything, feel free to tag anyone that has the title admin or mentor or hall monitor as we go into Discord. When will we receive the registration links? The registration for the metaverse is already there, and for media partners, you have access to a private schedule already that has the links where you're going to go live. And so we're going to distribute that calendar as well. We just got to make sure that we work out a kink. We had some kinks this morning with streaming. So we want to work out those kinks as well this afternoon. So once we get that worked out, expect that calendar invitation, because we had a little glitch this morning. Okay, anybody else? All right, awesome. So I'm going to stop recording right now.